Hello to my Virgos. All right, Virgos, let's get into the getting into. Happy moon in Taurus. Taurus rules second house. Second house is all about personal resources, money habits, possessions, values, financial security, self worth, and also income, right? So, this is going to be speaking to your second house. Find out what your sign is in your second house. Taurus is the Hierophant card, right? So, I'm talking to you wherever Virgo is in your birth chart, but find out we're talking about your self worth, and we're also talking about your money. All right, your money, your material possessions, all those wonderful things, right? Obviously, you're putting source first. I'm grateful for everything. You're putting source first, right? So remain grateful for everything. I am. There is an Aries involved in something because that's the I am part piece of it. So somebody has a God complex, right? A God complex. Somebody that you who is very impulsive, somebody that you're somehow connected to is very impulsive. They jump to conclusions. Somebody has they're aggressive, they're impulsive, they're impatient. Their energy is very impulsive and impatient. Let's get an angel number here. So yeah, we're talking about your material possessions. Somebody does things without thinking, right? So you're closing something out with two energies, right? Because you've spoken something to existence, something about your throat chakra, right? Your throat chakra. You're speaking your truth, but you're speaking it to source, right? Meaning that you're a prayer warrior. Something was done behind someone's back, and somebody is now like, you know what? I know what it feels like to have people's back and to sit there and watch people stab loved ones in the back. Nah, mm-mm. Here we have originate. Your thoughts create your reality. So there is bravery in wanting something in life. It can lead to disappointment, but your angels want you to take that chance. What is it that you want? They are sending energy to you so as to manifest your dreams in your life. Your work today is what is to want something. Write a closely held desire on a piece of paper. Put the paper somewhere safe such as a bedside drawer. So you're closing out a cycle with two energies. That number seven lets me know that something legal was at the spiritual, in the spiritual, either spiritual law, spiritual injustice, or a physical, whether it's in a 3D or 5D realm. Some kind of injustice was done behind somebody's back by two loved ones. And this is what you're connecting with. It's like, okay, you know what? I can relate to that. Like that's been done to me when you've had people's backs and they stabbed you in the back and say that they love you. Nah, mm-mm. That's somehow you connect with that. You connect with that. And this moon in Taurus is bringing something out of you because Taurus, when the moon moves through Taurus, we're not talking about a particular Taurus, we're talking about when the moon moves through Taurus. Um, Even though Taurus and Libra, which is the Justice card, are both ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics, there's a dark side to Venus. It can be vain, vengeful, and green with envy, right? So some of you all have experienced that green with envy uh, energy by loved ones who said that they would always have your back. You have been there, you've had their back through thick and thin, no matter what they went through, court drama, divorce, heartbreak, surgeries, people lying on them, friends stabbing them in the back. You was right there, bam, and soon opportunity for them to stab you in the back. So you've been there before, and so somebody was like, nah, nope, 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 and nope, right? So something around personal resources, money habits, possessions, values, financial security, self-worth, income is something that you've heard somebody speak on. And this is throat chakra, right? You've heard somebody say something around that, right? Let's close something out. That's number seven, right? And so something God had to make somebody have a tower moment. That's 16, 1 and 6 is 7. Somebody had to have a total recall of something like, wait a minute, how am I getting wrapped up into some mess of stabbing somebody in the back? Like, hold on. Somebody had to take something to God. I am grateful for everything. almost like somebody is grateful now. Here we have, remember, throat chakra, ear, nose, and throat. Somebody is now grateful that they were witness or bore witness to hearing something that you can actually speak on. I was there at this date, this time, such and such. I was there. Like I saw, I heard, I was physically present. Remember, you're an earth sign, right? I heard the betrayal. I was there. Something went down on such and such day. I have physical proof of something, right? This betrayal, these love people all talking about they loved ones, but stabbing somebody in the back. Almost like somebody almost feels like I wish somebody was there to catch my loved ones. That's what you're saying. Like, I wish somebody was there to, catch my loved one. It's almost like somebody is saying, you know what, you're doing a good deed because you know that there's greatness inside of you. It's almost like somebody is saying you're grateful that you are a very meticulous Virgo. You are rule sixth house. Sixth house is all about health, work habits, daily routines, fitness, pets, service to others, diet, spiritual practices. It's like somebody was there to hear a whole bunch of sixth house craziness go down from two energies who spoke something right in your presence. And you were just like, what in the world? So you were physically there. We're talking about second house now. You were physically somewhere where you heard some stuff go down, right? So let's get into it. Yep, 10 of cups. You were sitting at the table. You were sitting right at the table and heard all this mess go down. While people was drinking, they were sitting around the table drunk, passing liquor to somebody's child or children. And they could, even if they were adults, somebody was not in their right mind because we talking about alcohol. Another spirit had taken over, right? Yeah, a Capricorn. They're feeding somebody's addictions or if something was in excess, right? So there could have been people who were, feeding their food addiction. In other words, when you have demons at the table, we're not talking about people, we're talking about people's demons at the table. Their obsession, it could be obsession with food. They can't hear you because we talk about the demon of gluttony. It's just sitting there and everybody got their favorite foods. Everybody just chomping and munching and eating. And nobody, well, what was said? Conversation, people talking over each other. We got drinks passed all around the table. Nobody is in their right mind hearing anything. But something about your meticulous nature is that you caught some stuff. You were there somewhere. So that's what you're saying. I am. You're great. This is God inside of you. Grateful for everything. So something with a group of energies has come to an end because somebody now knows it wasn't a divine connection at all. They were actually a bully. Somebody was there basically seeing how stressed out somebody was, how burdened they were, that they needed help and they were asking for help. So it was something was a cry for help that you witnessed. It could have been in your personal or your professional life. It could have been, because remember, this justice card could have been your personal or your professional life. So when you're there to witness that, that is going to be somebody's biggest supporter. So something is coming your way. This energy is going to be your biggest supporter. The one that somebody tried to demonize is going to be your biggest supporter because they were there being fed. Somebody was trying to end them. Two energies were trying to end them. A water sign and a fire sign was trying to end them, trying to cause an air sign some kind of heartbreak after they had already gone through some kind of a loss, divorce, surgery, possibly depression, suffering, or some kind of grief. Somebody saw how they was talking to somebody, bullying somebody, playing all these stupid mind games with somebody. A Virgo was there. A Virgo was there. That energy is going to be your biggest supporter. Three of Pentacles. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the member of your team. That member is going to be a member of your team. Mm-hmm. So this is how someone's money is going to increase because you're dealing with something in the physical realm here. And this is what somebody's now going to be talking to about money right here. Three of Pentacles here. That's what y'all going to be talking about, money. Here we had the Three of Wands and talking about expansion. Y'all gonna be talking about teamwork, money, expansion, growth, looking ahead, all of that, because they sitting right here at the table with these two energies, getting somebody drunk as a skunk to a point of possibly throwing up, them being disrespectful to someone, right? An air sign trying to bully somebody, being abusive because some energies wanted to win something at all cost, whatever they want to win, playing all these stupid mind games. Eight of Swords, right? Wanted to switch, wanted to destiny swap with two energies. Um, Two energies wanting to destiny swap with two other energies, but this is going to be somebody's biggest supporter. Ace of Pentacles here. You have big money coming across your path because you physically have something that is going to end these two energies. You and two other energies have something that's going to put an end to these two energies here. But see, whoever this energy is, whether it's in your personal or your professional life, it doesn't even really matter because you have some kind of prosperity or some kind of opportunity coming your way, a raise, a promotion, something coming your way. Because let's say this was in the workplace, Virgo, and you had two managers, or maybe like a frontline manager and like a higher up manager or whatever, who um, got one of your colleagues drunk at y'all know what I'm saying, like they all sitting around at a potluck, or y'all know what I'm saying. They weren't fully coherent, right? They wanted to find out what their demons were, right? So is it food? They got this person, you know, the favorite foods where the person got relaxed. And y'all know how people do spell work, cooking, you know, kitchen witchcraft, right? Doing all this stuff, stirring the pot, speaking all kinds of spell work over the food. That's one way. But or if it was sex, they made sure, somebody got, comfortable enough to start talking about who was sleeping with whom in the office, or some mess going on. Whatever it was, somehow you happen to be somewhere. You happen to be somewhere. Um Somebody must have gotten on the phone and called somebody and said something to somebody's face or whatever, somehow to try to entrap somebody or restrict somebody in some kind of way or do something. But somehow you were there for all of it. That energy, your prayers have been answered. I'm telling you, your prayers have been answered. And I know that because the opposite of 7 would be 4. Somebody's a prayer warrior. You are going to end these two energies, but that's not all that source has in store for them, because these two energies made a deal with the devil. They made a deal with the devil. And the devil is here to collect. The devil is here to collect. So, somebody's going to be making you some kind of a proposal, whether it's in your personal or your professional life. But I feel like you are here's a Knight of Swords here. So you being a fast thinking person, you could be a fast thinking person, a soldier, someone who's action oriented, travel, and impulsive with defending your beliefs, whatever it is. People are going to say that you're running away from something because you talked about somebody behind your back too. Guess what? Whoever you talked about behind their back, guess what? They don't care at all. Okay. These two energies right here made a deal with the devil. You did not. These two energies right here kept you in the dark about something. They found out whatever your demons were, right? Whatever your demons were, because whoever these energies are, they sitting around a table talking to these energies, they found out what your demons were. That's how they were able to get you looped into something. Here we had a 2 of Wands here. They get you to do something behind somebody's back while somebody was on travel. or while somebody was looking out the window, somebody got you to do something, bait somebody into something, right? In other words, um, it looks like you're covered. Looks like you're covered. You're divinely protected because of your compassion. So this is where you want to really start pouring into yourself, because these energies were mirroring compassion, and you're actually a compassionate energies. In other words, you stopped something just in time. So you're grateful for everything. You were either watching something, and I know that because of talking about water. Somebody stopped hanging around certain people. Somebody stopped drinking or stopped doing something. You stopped something, right? Something stopped. That's not even by coincidence. You stopped doing one thing and started doing something else. Somebody started praying. Stop hanging around predatory energies who prey on people, who drink or overeat or whatever you stop doing. However, source got you up from a table being around these so called divine energies that you now know source did not put those energies together. The devil did. These energies all signed a deal with the devil, right? Source is saying to you, whatever got you up from that table is what saved you from the devil's contract. Whatever got you up is a nine of swords here. Somebody could have been having nightmares, but something got you clear headed. 888. Something got you real clear. You could have watched something, but something got you real clear. Get your behind up. Get up from the chair, the desk, the table. Get from around these energies. Something ain't right. Something got you real focused. Here's the Page of Pentacles here. So um, you got a message or some kind of a physical download. Um, somebody could have said something. Something just reminded you of something. So you could have been sitting around talking to a group of energies. You could have been the Eight of Swords sitting in the middle of two other energies talking to these energies, right? And like something could have reminded you of something. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like if you were at work, you could have been sitting in the middle chair at work, and there could have been two energies on the side of you. But you know, it's something. Sometimes things come to your mind. It's not by coincidence, right? Or you could have gone on a walk on your lunch break, and you could have gone on lunch with two people, and something reminded you, like something hit you all of a sudden and made you focus. Like, oh, something hit you, made you get up and go get focused, right? um like if you continue talking to certain energies, something reminded you of something, that either somebody was, sitting around talking to these people. Like one of these energies um took a picture of you and never sent you the picture, right? One of these energies you realized was recording you and never told you that they were recording you. That kind of stuff. We talking about water energy. One of these energies kept trying to offer you alcohol, right? Kept trying to kind of feed whatever your demons were, right? One of these energies says something to you thinking that they were going to see a temper come out. Y'all get my point here, Virgos, right? They kept doing something to see if what was said about you, that you were a bully, that you were stressed out, that you were burdensome, that you needed some kind of help from somebody. They were trying to find out what your demons were, meaning what your temptations were. So, well, I need some money. Oh, we got a job for you. We got this for, or I'm so stressed out, I just need a drink. That kind of thing. Oh, okay. Here, just take this one. Take a load off of you. Y'all know, you get the point, right? They did that to these two energies right here, did that to someone, and you witnessed this, right? So it's like you're in parallel universes with someone else. Um, so you're either the one that's going to end two energies, right? Because you were there and saw them do this to someone else, do this to two energies, right? Bait them into something. Because you're waiting on some results for something now, because there's a lot of conversation going around now, right? Of who's responsible for what. Um, or someone witnessed somebody doing something to you and somebody else, and source, either way, you're protected. Either way, you're protected. Your prayers protected you, right? Here's a justice card, right? Yeah, two energies definitely did some kind of an injustice behind two people's backs. And the fact that God said, I don't know if God, like, for real, this is your prayers. Something, something you heard, watched, saw, whatever, stopped you from hanging around a group of energies and said, I need to start something else. I need to start something brand new. I need to start pouring into myself in very healthy ways because I need a whole new lease on life. This ain't it. This is not it. A Capricorn is involved in something. These energies right here, we're trying to stop someone's 10th house. 10th house is their career, life goals, achievement, public image, social status, their fame, trying to stop all of this. And so you're like, nah, nope, Seven of Wands. So somebody is now in prayer and meditation mode, right? And also in the mode of telepathy, looking at your cards here. But somebody is really tapped into their gifts of telepathy now, reaching out to people via telepathy, right? Really concentrating. All right, so that's what I have for you. This is how you're getting. Let's see how any other messages source before we close out for Virgo. How we getting ready for this new moon in Cancer. Cancer is the mother and money sign of the zodiac. How is Virgo getting ready for something? How is Virgo getting ready for something? I'm just hearing the word immunity. Like somebody is just completely covered in, I mean, God really has somebody protected and covered. Because I'm telling y'all, people's arms are too short to box with God. They can be on demon time if they want to. But a lot of people are turning to alternative ways of just hearing from source. It's no longer just going to hear from God and just a one way of listening to source or the creator. People are finding other ways of listening to source. Like, okay, so if source can talk to a donkey or a burning bush, source can talk through cards, colors, the wind, a tree, a grasshopper. Here we have Three of Wands here. Somebody is thinking now expansion. You're about to just take a leap of faith, not fear. Yeah. Something has put a fire up under you. Something has being around responsible energies who have taken a leap of faith themselves, have inspired you to just take a leap of faith. Like, you don't have any, I keep trying to tell people they don't have any competition. The same I am that's inside of you is inside of everybody else. Same thing. You just got to balance it out. You got to balance it out. Get some rest. Drink your water. Mind your business. So that's what somebody is starting to do. Somebody is starting to speak things into existence. Pray more. Watch how many times you've been around people who say they love people, but you see them stabbing people in the back, whether it's in spiritual court or actual 3D court. Somebody is not going back to being confused at all, being around people that all you see is tumbleweed. You done. You're like, people who just, they just blowing in the wind. And again, you're not judging anybody, but some people, they don't want to. Everybody has temptations. That's everybody. We're in human flesh. We're in human form. But somebody is like, okay, people don't want to address whatever their demons are. If it's overeating, you seeing something from a higher frequency now. That is how, I don't know who I'm talking to when I say this, but this is how a lot of people don't get promoted in the workplace. I don't know who I'm talking to when I'm saying this. This is how a lot of people don't get fast tracked in the workplace because they put this physical, I gotta be at every what is it called? happy hour. I got to be all up in my manager's face. I gotta find out I gotta get familiar with how to be fast track. How you go for real be fast track is stability. Like for real be balanced out. I got a healthy work life balance. I got to get home, even if it's just you. I got to get home. Not sitting around drinking and talking with people. Let whoever think whatever. That's what prayer is for. God will tell you. God will show you who's linking up with whom in the office. Somebody is in light high priestess energy. Light high priestess energy. Somebody learn how to see some. All this sitting around talking to energies is a hermit. Oh no. Nah. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Make a decision. Make a decision. This right here. Make a decision and stand on it. Bow leg, knock knee, pigeon toe, however you stand and stand on it. But source is saying to you, look, the lover's card here is it's not just it's not just a partnership in business. It's also a partnership in love. It's also making a decision about something. But somebody's making a decision about some people. Somebody is making a decision about some people. Yeah, and what they responsible for? They were responsible for bullying somebody. This karmic couple. They were responsible for bullying two energies. You know, one of them didn't want to come back. You ain't going back for sure, right? So if this is in the workplace, they were responsible for bullying people in the workplace. If it's in your personal life, they were responsible for people in the work, causing people to constantly move around, just doing the absolute most, telling all kinds of lies. If it was somebody's homeowners association, they were telling lies, just doing the most, spreading all kinds of lies and rumors, pretending like they were compassionate towards energies, soulmates. So for you, you're also kindred spirits with somebody. This could be two women, two men, a man and a woman, but it's really one person. This really embodies just one energy. This is one person. But I feel like there's an action to speak up at this point because the moon in Gemini, not necessarily talking about a Gemini rules third house. When you think about early education, intelligence, sibling interaction, logic, reason, communication skills, short trips, hobbies, some people would not take a short trip with their own siblings because of all of this mess that what they put their energy into, sitting around drinking, talking about people behind their back, you know, passing around whatever they smoking, all of this. For you all they want to be familiar with the latest gossip, the latest this and that, demons just raging, just I mean, just the whole table on fire. That's all people talking about is, who's this and who's that, talking about people behind their back. Now a spirit of God in sight. And I'm not saying it to be judgmental at all. People talking down on people, talking about their kids, their this and that. As far as you're concerned, that's not what you're interested in. And if it's the workplace, certain people are watching and they are listening. Like, okay, they hang out with this group of people. Yeah, that's the end of their career. That's as high as they're gonna get here and on this ladder. They can hang it up. So somebody is glad that something is behind them now, looking at your cards here. But yeah, because you know your worth and your value. In other words, you were sitting around listening to the same things that your family was saying about you, and I'm talking about work family or personal family. You were hearing what was said about somebody else, but it was really mirroring what your own family was saying about you, whether it's in your personal or your professional life. So you must be a person that people, whether it's your grandparents' favorite or your parents' favorite, maybe it's an aunt and uncle favorite, somebody, whoever's favorite you are, somebody said the same thing about you and your kids. Same exact thing. You sitting and listening to, if you heard it in work, you was hearing, it was literally like God was giving you a front row seat as to what your work family was saying about you. If you was hearing it about somebody else in there as far as their family talking, it was literally like God saying, I'm gonna let you listen to what your family's saying about you, but I'm just gonna switch up the characters. This gonna be somebody else's family. They was doing the same thing to you and your kids. Look at the dog. Child, if the dog could talk. So that's what I have for you. That is what I have for you. So that's how justice is in your favor in the spiritual realm, because source is like, I got you taken care of, because you was right there and heard everything. Heard and saw everything. There it is, 8 of Swords. So the very thing that some energies wanted for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, the very energy that 4 energies wanted for you is the very thing that's going to happen to them. Twofold. So instead of it being 4, it's going to be 8. It's going to be 4 karmic couples. Yep, 4 karmic couples. Same thing they wanted for you. Might want to hang you out to dry. Not after all the sacrifice your ancestors made. Your ancestors coming through like Game of Thrones. They like, excuse me, not this one. And on top of that, because somebody's prayer source is touch not my anointed, do my prophets no harm. These energies, for real, just like you witness them lying on somebody else, or another energy, they do the same thing to you. And source is saying to you, but that's all right. They set their own trap because they made a deal with the devil. When I tell you the devil come back to collect, these some energies are not happy without you. Don't let that be your demon, that they're not happy without you. It's time to heal your wounded warrior. That's your Chiron, right? Keep moving forward. You are protected by angels. Pray for your strength. You found your star. Close out the cycle in love. Let go and let God. Let God handle it, because I see you being booked and busy and not burdened and bitter. It's time to release the burden. You don't have time to be confused. The new one is extra special. You don't have time to be confused. The curse is now broken. You broke a generational cycle, chain, and curse. These energies would have drained you dry, for real. This water right here, these energies, I put so much energy into dehydrating people and then pouring their toxins into other people, so you don't remember what you did, what you said, was this and that. They would have hung you out to dry. Whoever these energies are, they specialize, whether it's in your personal or your professional life, they specialize in getting people tore up from the floor up high as a Georgia pine, and then recording and stuff, and then playing it back. Oh no, this was them. They specialize in this. So now the curse is now broken because you're seeing something from a higher frequency. Why some people just don't mess with their certain family members? They don't. Your ancestors, when I don't know who I'm talking to when I say this, your ancestors are coming through, and all these karmic couples, it's 4 of them, 4 karmic couples about to catch a fade in the spirit realm. They all they just be swinging across the table. They won't even know what hit them. But that's what I have for you. Hopefully this is helpful, and I will see you all in the next video. But yeah, that's how you're getting ready for this moon in Cancer. Somebody is really going back into hermit mode and just relaxing and just pouring into themselves, showing yourselves the compassion that you deserve. That's what you're doing. That's what you're creating, some time to show yourself the compassion that you deserve. You're not worried about these energies. Yeah, you're watching a movie. Yep, you're watching a movie. Somebody could have a cat, but you're watching a movie. Nothing salacious. Somebody doesn't even want to associate themselves, because through your ear gate and your eye gate, right? That's how energies were able to find out what your demons were. Because then people sitting around the table recording conversations, playing back what you said through a conversation with somebody else. That's how they were able to find out what your demons were. That's why you're saying, you know what? It's time to watch. It's trying to destroy one movie and watch a new movie. I don't even want that kind of life. I don't even want to switch lives with certain. I don't even want to do a destiny swap with these four karmic couples. I don't even want to be connected to them. So you closing something out. Because yeah, whoever this energy was, they definitely would have hung you out to dry. That's why this right here is you. You have a new love coming across your path, whoever you are, because you're starting to see something from a higher frequency. And your telepathic message did get through. Here, Eight of Cups here, you would have walked away from something a long time ago in hindsight. You and somebody would have walked away from something on the beach, right? And just gotten some rest. You would have just gotten some rest. Yeah. That is what I have for you. Hopefully, that works for somebody. I see you all in the next video. See you in the next video. Yeah. See you in the next video. Yeah, but you definitely made way too many sacrifices to be hung out to dry by somebody who can't control their demons. They don't even know what the heck. Yeah, these are karmic couples. Yeah, I'm gonna just, like I said, close this out. Karmic couples could be one manager seeming like they're a good manager, you can talk to them, and the other one is like kind of almost like ruthless, right? You just like, it's two energies. They travel in couples, like pairs, right? um they always together. One seem like they're, oh, okay, but they're both really kind of looking down on you, almost like you're less than in some way, shape, form, or fashion. They just know how to play the role very well. They've already watched some kind of movie, or they just on a particular frequency. You already talked to people about you. Something about you is learning how to get up and walk away from being around certain groups of energies. But yeah, these karmic couples, you're gonna be getting some rest so you can move on from this and starting up a new group of energies. 10 of Cups. Yep. In hindsight, somebody would be like, "This is not divine at all." Hmm. But that is what I have for you. Hopefully, yeah. Somebody's going to stop just looking at the outer shell, looking at the cards here. Not that you always looked at the outer shell, but somebody's going to stop. Just look. You and somebody are just going to stop looking at the outer shell and really start looking at the spirit, like praying ahead of time. Whoever you're ending up in a relationship with, in business and or in love, are going to make a decision together to say, you know what, we're not just looking at the outer shell, because that could make it wrong for, if you're connecting with another highly spiritually gifted energy, that can make it wrong for you and the other person. That's not helping you or the other person. You throwing yourself back into this karmic couple. Karmic does not mean bad. It just means it's supposed to teach you a lesson. That's it. Um, it would throw you back into this, I'm a half of a person meeting another half of a person, and together we're a whole, right? I need this other energy. No, you're 100%, they're 100%. Y'all putting 100% into the relationship. So in case, not expecting for somebody to be perfect, but in case they miss something, in case, because everybody's in human form, or you miss something, y'all would have caught it. It's no competition. There is no competition, right? And so that's what I'm seeing here. This is what I'm seeing here. So you and somebody won't have to go back to the confusion. That's what I think. That's what I see for you. Bye.